Starting in a butterfly position, go ahead and take your head all the way around, circling. Make sure you drop your shoulders away from your ears. You never want to crunch your neck back, but feel like there's a lifting up and out. You're keeping your spine nice and tall while you're rolling around. Just feel everything starting to elongate. Press those shoulder blades down, down, down. Your knees, of course, can be pressing down, but most of the focus is on your neck right here. All right, let's go ahead and contract. Feel like someone punched you in the belly, and you're rounding your spine. Tuck that chin to your chest, tuck that pelvis, and then take your nose towards your heels. Now, it doesn't matter how far you go. What matters is you're thinking about the shape being like a C, a tucked pelvis, really elongated spine, and then the chin rounding out that shape. Go ahead and think about those knees pressing out now. Now everyone's pelvic shape is different, and so depending on your tilt, this may be easy for you, this may be hard for you. What matters is that you're thinking about elongating those vertebrae and getting some space and some oxygen flowing in there. Press those feet forward. You're going to lengthen them. Knees are straight as you twist around, leaning back, getting a nice twist and rotation in that spine. Make sure you exhale, reach around and twist. Each time try and go a little lower, a little more rotation, reaching and twist. This should feel really nice. It's really good to reach your legs out the front though. Go ahead and flex those feet, pull your toes up towards your chin, and then I want you to roll your sit bones, like climb them backwards so that you're getting a really nice hamstring stretch right here. If you feel like you have no bum, then you might have a posterior tilt. And so you've got to really tip that pelvis. Think of it like a bucket of water, and you're trying to tip water out the front of your pelvis. And that will help you to shift and elongate those hamstrings. Go ahead and roll it up. Let's move in your right foot, bring it towards the inner part of your thigh, and pressing your ribs towards your knee. Let's go ahead and rotate to the inside now. Just changing the angles. Make sure that you are breathing, exhaling. Pull that belly button in. Keep your spine nice and long. Twisting through the spine. Lots of different angles to stretch. And so just pay attention which ones are tight, which ones are easier. And those are indicators of your natural movements. And so if something is hard for you, be aware that that's a place to really work on. If something's easy for you, that's a typically trained movement pattern that you're used to doing. It's an awareness point whenever we stretch to observe how our bodies move. So keep that rotation, keep the knees pressing out. Stretching is really about lengthening and about helping everything start to breathe and have more air. So reaching forward, I want you to think about your ribs pressing towards your thumbs. It is a better stretch if you're flexing your feet like I'm doing here. And notice I'm not very wide. I'm not out in a full straddle, but kind of just a natural, whatever just feels good, because this is more about the forward rotation. This is an advanced level. If you're ready for it, put your forehead down on your hands. Otherwise, stay where I was just a few moments ago. But keep pressing those ribs down. Don't round your back too much. You want that belly button reaching more for the ground to get a longer lumbar, which is your low spine. Now you can roll it up one vertebrae at a time. Go ahead and bring in your legs. We're going to twist into it's called a swastika position, but now you're going to press up and you're pushing through to stretch that quad. You're pushing your hip forward and squeezing your glutes, and this is going to help you to take a lot of the pain out of your low back. Oftentimes if we have pain in our low back, it's because we have tight hip flexors and quads. Take that same leg around. We're going to rotate now, lifting up and through the spine. Exhale. But always don't crunch the spine, always lift the spine while it's rotating. Now you're going to make sure you're on both of your sit bones. It could be easy to lift one, so you've got to wiggle until you get both on the ground, and then go ahead and drop your ribs towards your knee, folding over very gently. Go as far as you can. Everyone's going to be different, and so don't judge yourself, just observe yourself and say, great. You don't want any stabbing or shooting pain. You want more of a big heat, and then you want to embrace that and stay with it. Don't just ricochet out of it. The point of stretching is to go to that heat moment and then go ahead and come out of it after a good few seconds have been spent. You can, of course, each of these stretches could take longer for sure, but where we're doing a power stretch, we want to try and hit more muscles and just help them open up. It's more of a functional stretch, keeping us feeling good each day rather than really optimizing flexibility. We'd need more 30 to 60 minutes for that. So now we're doing our swastika stretch again. Push those hip flexors up, squeeze the glutes, elongating that hip flexor. Make sure you don't pop your ribs out. You got to keep the ribs tucked in, belly button in tight, all your guts pulled in, and twist it around to a pretzel rotation. Use that elbow, or if you can't get your elbow to the outside of your knee, just go ahead and grab onto that knee wherever you can, and then lift and rotate. Keep both of your sit bones on the ground. That's really important for helping the piriformis, which is a connection between your sit bone and your hip bone. And so now go ahead and elongate your spine. Again, make sure that you are tipping forward with your pelvis and not sitting back on the soft part of your padded part of your bum. You want to sit up on the sit bones where that should not feel comfortable. Sitting in the ground, that's when you're going to do the stretch correctly for your lumbar. So keep reaching. Everything you do, exhale and inhale. Don't shorten your breath no matter what's going on. Always want to keep the breath long. Let's take your wrists and your ankles, rotate them outward. Now let's go inward for 4, 3, 4, and then outward, 3, 4, and inward, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, go ahead and grab your fingers, grab your index finger and your middle finger, and you're pulling, you're squeezing your shoulder blades together, lifting through the back of your neck. Keep your jaw relaxed and not jutting forward. I want you to reach your pinkies together behind you, and then as you feel comfortable, scoot your bum forward so that you're getting a nice stretch through your chest. Don't sink in it. You want to reach through that. So I just showed you the wrong way and now the right way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears. Tight ribs, and then go ahead and have a seat. Okay, we're going to bridge and start loosening up that low back. So depending on your pelvic shape, you may have a lot massaging my abdomen there because the core gets used a lot. Okay, I like to also kind of wiggle and pound out glutes and low back, and so you can spend some time there, just whatever your body needs. And then go ahead and try, and if possible, push up and over. Otherwise, I'm going to show you how to get into this with a little more momentum. So you are going to come up, you're going to roll back, and you might be able to touch, you might not be able to touch. We're trying to get that spine stretched out. If you're not able to touch, this is something you absolutely need to be practicing. For optimal spine health, you need to be able to touch the ground when you come back. Okay, if you're able to keep your knees straight, then next level is to squeeze your head with your knees, keeping your hands straight. Okay, if you want the most advanced level, make a gun with your fingertips and squeeze those shoulder blades together so you're up only on the rear deltoid, spine is completely off the ground. I'll just show you some more advanced things that you can work up to if you would like to. Trying to hold that balance, almost vertical, working for it. It's helpful if you have someone to guide you because sometimes you think you're straight and you're not. So you can just play around, but that's going to really help elongate the correct muscles in the spine. And this is just one way I like to get up, stretching the quads, come over the top and roll it up. Great job.